The following program is brought to you by Johnny's Radiator and More. Family owned and operated for over 45 years. We are more than a radiator shop. Come see what the more is all about. Brakes, alignments, suspension, shocks, struts, tires, lift kits, radiator, AC repair, oil change, water pumps, fuel pumps, and more. Don't forget, Johnny's has a full line of AC parts in stock for all heavy-duty makes and models, logging, farming, construction, and heavy-duty trucks. AC parts specialist with over 35 years experience. Call 870-226-5000 to get an estimate or make an appointment today.
Coach, good to be back with you. 44-42 win over Gosnell Friday night in round 2. State playoffs. It had some wrinkles in the second half, but how big was that?
Oh, it was a huge win. You know, I felt like going in that we had a really good game plan, and our kids came out and executed the first half really good. Second half, you know, we jump up right there in the third quarter, 44-12. Probably should have kicked another onside kick. We ended up kicking it deep. They get great field position, you know, go score, and then, you know, we get a big holding penalty, which, you know, it is what it is, but, you know, we run the football, get a big gain. They call holding, put us behind the chains, then we throw an interception in the end zone, and they were able to go score again. And then we fumble on a first running play. They go score again, and you know you can't turn the ball over. And we had 3 right there in a row. You know, plus a big holding penalty that put us behind the chains, and then another holding penalty that put us behind the chains. So it was you know, it was kind of a perfect storm for them. To be able to get back in it, and they were able to. You know, we knew going in they were extremely athletic. They had athletes everywhere. You know, we were a little beat up, obviously, and you know we just struggled in the second half. And there's nothing that we didn't know about. You know, we talked about that all year. I mean, our kids keep competing and playing hard, and you know we advanced to the next round.
I think it's been a few weeks, but we talked about Jacarlos and how much of a weapon he might be able to be for you. Obviously gets a field goal there right before the half that you end up winning by 2. What does that do for his confidence going forward?
I mean, it's huge. It's huge for him. I thought he did a really good job with his onside kicks. I thought Emmanuel did a really good job being a freshman and being put in that role of kicking onside kicks. And I thought both kickers did an outstanding job. Jacarlos, obviously a junior, and you know made a huge field goal, but both of them puts a lot of pressure on the kickoff return, and we were able to get both of them. You know, out there at the same time, and I think that we should have recovered 2 more, really. I think we ended up recovering 2, but you know, that's weapons going forward.
Don't want to dwell too much on last week, but just talk about your defense for a second. Obviously came up with a big stop there right at the end to seal it.
I thought our defense played well the whole game. You know, outside of a couple of busts that we had, but we just didn't tackle. You know, other than that, they came out with some new plays that they hadn't showed, and they hit us with it. You know, offensively, we did not help them any in the second half, and we put them in a bind. You know, with penalties that were very. You know, I'm not saying they didn't. It was just very, very hard to overcome. You know, it seemed like that every time we broke one, we get a penalty, and then we end up turning the ball over, and that's tough. You know, that's tough. You can't turn the ball over. You know, that's been our Achilles heel all year. You know, when we're good, we're really good, and when we're bad, we're really bad. And we've talked about that since week 1. Even back in the summer on offense, and you know we got to play it good for a whole game, and we haven't done that yet. That's why it's so scary. And I've said this over and over. If we ever do that, we're a really good football team, and we got to find a way to do that going forward.
Well, we move on to this week. Still playing Thanksgiving week. That's a big deal. Friday night, Prairie Grove here at home. What are you expecting out of the Tigers?
You know, they're the same old. They are going to you know, line up in the wing tee. They're going to try to keep, you know, ball possession, keep the ball away from you, line up, and they got 2 really big running backs, both over. I know the fullback's over 200 pounds. The tailback's probably 190, and they do what they do, and they do extremely well. They run the wing tee, bug sweep, fullback trap, and you know, old school offense, and you know you don't see it very often anymore. You know, when I first got here in 2000, and, you know, McGee ran it, Fordyce ran it. There was a bunch of Star City ran it. A bunch of teams ran the wing tee, and now pretty much around here it's just Fordyce and McGee. So you know, something that we play McGee every year, which helps. You know, that's our scrimmage game, and you know, even though they were in a double slot this year, but in the past we've been able to play McGee for something that could happen in the playoffs, and you know, hopefully we can reach back and look at some of that stuff that we've done over the last few years, and hopefully find a plan.
Well, Coach, obviously a chance at a home game here. How big is it to get a big crowd out this
It's
Friday?
huge. You know, I thought their atmosphere was very, very good at Gosnell, and I thought our kids overcame a lot, and I thought we had a good crowd there. But their atmosphere, when they started making a comeback and how loud they were, that's a huge home field advantage, and I would love to have one here Friday night. I think the kids feed off that. I thought Gosnell's kids fed off theirs. You know, you felt like we were looking up, you know, it felt like we were just climbing a hill there for a little while because it was so loud on their side. And you know, anytime you can get that, and we would love to have that Friday night here. That's a big advantage for the home team, and that's what a chance to play another home game is awesome for these seniors.
I just want to quickly remind fans that they can buy tickets, of course, on the app, I believe. There's a GoFan, and if you need help, you can get that help at the gate, I believe, as well. So, Coach, thank you for your time.
All right, thank you.